What an honor. I am here talking about the holidays with people who know a whole lot about family in the holidays. Let me introduce you to the Callahan family. And so I get everything right. Why don't you go through and introduce yourselves, Mrs. Callahan, Mr. Callahan, Valerie Calahan. Please tell everybody what you do and a little bit more about your business.
Yeah, so my name is Valerie Callahan Taylor, and I am the president of Callahan Funeral Home. I am a second generation business owner, and I am excited to follow in the footsteps of my parents.
Yes. What shoes they have left for you to fill.
Big shoes.
Yes.
Big
So,
shoes.
Mr. Callahan, tell us when you started the funeral home.
My name is Edward Callahan. I'm the co-founder of Callahan Funeral Home, and we started this funeral home through a funeral service in 1983.
Okay.
And we continued into this facility in 1986.
Okay.
And 40 plus years later, we're still rolling forward.
Amen to that. Now, Mrs. Callahan, I've got to ask you, did you know when you got married to this man that you were going to end up in the funeral business?
Oh my God. Absolutely not. But his personality, his zeal, his zest, his energy won me over, and here we are. We've been married now 45 years. So all of that had a huge impact. But once I settled myself and found out that this gentleman is all about providing service to those who are walking in paths of grief and bereavement. So I just committed myself, and I went back to school, became licensed as a funeral director and embalmer and all the other credentials that go with that. And here we are, now in business 42 years.
That's amazing. So, Valerie, I would like to ask you, any second generation business that you are responsible for has a process that when you're growing up, you don't necessarily know if you want to be in the family business. So how did you determine that the family business was actually for you?
Do you have, how much time do we have? So it's so funny. I was just sitting here thinking about when my mom said that, she didn't know that she would be married to, someone in the funeral industry or who was interested in the funeral industry. And I think about my childhood, and my first sleepover was at the funeral home.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so we used to live above the funeral home.
Okay.
I remember my mom telling me the story. My parents made this sacrifice to live above the funeral home to save up enough money. When you're starting a business off, you have so many expenses, and so that was an expense that they were able to kind of, cut with us living above the funeral home. And so thank God my friends, their parents allowed them to come to my sleepover. And yeah, my birthday parties, and I remember, when my parents would be at work downstairs, I would just run downstairs and talk to my parents. So yeah,
so
it's
this
been a
been
journey.
your life, your whole life.
Yeah.
And so when did you become part of the actual business happenings?
So when I was away at school, I went to Texas Southern University in Houston.
Okay.
And at first I didn't want to come back home. And I said, no, I'm going to do something in marketing. And, I had this dream that I would live in New York and do something else, right? And I remember my dad always would have a conversation with me about pouring back into the family business. And so I said, well, okay, I'll move back home. And I moved back home, and, exactly what I would have poured into somebody else's company, I now pour into my own.
Yes.
So.
Well, amen, and kudos to that, sister.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Callahan, I know that in this time of year where we are entering into the holiday season, this is a very tense time for a lot of people, particularly in your business, when they find their way to you. But I wanted to ask you, what are some of the things that you really focus on helping families with during this time where they're supposed to be celebrating and holidays, but they're in the midst of heartbreak? How do you handle that when a family comes your way, November, December?
Great question. One of the things that we do here at Callahan Funeral Home is that we have an annual In Remembrance Day service where we invite all of the families back that we have served. They have, for the 3 years after the loss of their loved ones, they'll receive an invitation. So we gather them together and we sing, we laugh, we cry. They talk about their loved ones. And at the end, we get so many great responses that says that was very healing, very helpful. The speaker was great and awesome. So we try and engage families in that way. We do our how to handle the holidays, how to get through the holidays seminars. We are always on social media giving words of encouragement. So those are some of the things that we do.
Okay. Mr. Callahan, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, first of all, death is a natural part of life.
Yes.
Many people ignore it, but it's going to happen. As sure as you're born, you're going to pass away. We try to make it a very complete part of the arrangement that reflects on the life and legacy of the person,
Yes.
so that they can remember some positive things that went on in their life that is brought up during that ceremony. And we've done that over and over again. And one of the things that happens now more so than in the past is that we evaluate it more now. And this president here gets a lot of compliments as to how she has given leadership to the staff during that time when people have lost their loved ones.
Well, that's an excellent point, that how we deal in death across generations is different. And Valerie, how would you say what you have experienced in the difference between how older adults handle death and grief at this time of year particularly? I mean, it's the same all year. So if you lost somebody in, January, February, it's still, the holidays are still rough. It doesn't matter. But what have you observed about the difference between older adults and younger generations in this process?
Yeah, great question. I would say that younger people want to have a celebration. They believe in like a dinner or a party, or one time we had a family, they wanted a memorial dinner.
Okay.
And so we revamped our entire chapel to set it up like a dinner, and they had food and music. And, even though it is a sad moment, they want to experience some sense of joy. Or, back in the day, or I don't want to say back in the day, but we
You're
are
not old enough for
right,
back in the day.
I know, right? But we are accustomed to funerals being handled one way.
Yes.
You have a funeral service with burial or a funeral service with cremation.
Yes.
And so now younger people are thinking outside of the box, whether that's like I said, a dinner or a party, or, they may choose to have like a boat celebration. There are many different ways that people choose to celebrate their loved ones.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful that now we've always done weddings in a variety of ways, right? We've looked at, we can do this, we can have this kind of celebration, and we really haven't rethought death very much until younger people are getting into the family and saying, we could do it this way, we could do it that way, and it brings more of that celebratory of the person's life and love instead of the loss, which I think is really the most important thing to focus on, because this person lived for a really long time and had a really great life, and sometimes all we can think about is the absence of them. But when you have those celebrations, it's like still making new memories. Absolutely. And my mother-in-law recently passed away, and we had one of those really big parties. She was 79, and so next month we'd be celebrating her 80th birthday, and she's given us a little flack about having a party. And so now I'm like, we had our party anyway, because it is important to celebrate the love of your loved one.
Absolutely.
And so that's excellent. I wanted to ask, though, you all do community here. And community is much more than what happens in this building. And so what are some of the other things that you all do that people may or may not really know about? Anybody?
Okay, I guess I'll go.
President.
So 17 years ago, 17 or 18 years ago. I could have that wrong. But my parents and my brother decided to do more than just funerals. We realized that we are in a community that is in need. And so whether that be coats and toys or scholarships, they saw the need and they answered the need. And so 17 years later, we have given away scholarships to graduating high school seniors. We've given away coats and toys. We have a mentoring program. We have gone above and beyond the cause.
That is excellent. So, Mr. Callahan, what made you want to start that particular foundation? Or who should I ask? Mrs. Callahan? Who should I? Okay. All right. What made you want to dig into that thing specifically and get outside the building?
Again, as our daughter said, this was initiated after Edric returned home from Florida A&M University and met with us and said, we have to do more than just funerals. And initially, we were giving away coats and toys, and it grew into giving away scholarships. We've given over $400,000 in scholarships to graduating high school
Say that.
students.
How much?
$400,000.
400,000.
Yes, ma'am.
My God. Okay. Amen.
And we have 87 students in our impact book that shows the pictures and the names of the universities that these students are attending.
Excellent.
Throughout the process, though, we give them their initial part of the scholarship, and then we mentor them throughout the entire 4 years of being in school.
Okay.
As a result of that, between 87 and 92% graduation rate is what we have as a result of continuing to talk to them on a monthly basis. And our daughter is one of the main leaders in that area of the mentoring program, and it is very, very successful. And I think that the response from the community is massive as a result of what we've done.
It'd have to
in
be
the
for
community.
$400,000.
And we have people throughout the city that talks about it. We many times we're at functions and they'll say they're the Calahans, and they have done things for people throughout this city. And we feel proud about what we've done here beyond just funerals.
Absolutely. So, Mrs. Callahan, this event is coming up. So tell us a little bit about what you have planned for this year's event, and if there are tickets still available, if people can still come, tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, as our family has said here, we are now celebrating 17 years of living out the motto that we have established, which is giving a hand out to give a hand up, to graduating high school seniors who have excelled academically but are financially challenged. And who isn't these days, right? So this year we will have our primary gala of our primary fundraising gala of the year, which will be held December 6th at the Tinley Park Convention Center. And we will do some amazing things there. We'll certainly honor and acknowledge our students, our graduates, our alums. We'll have a live auction. We're going to encourage people to give beyond purchasing their ticket. We want them to dig deep and make a sacrifice. We'll do the heavy lifting. We just need those to support us in that lift. We're going to honor 4 amazing people. Mr. Callahan can have the pleasure of giving you those 4 names.
Okay.
So we will have live entertainment by award-winning Avery Sunshine.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun, packed evening, focused with purpose and being very intentional about supporting our scholars.
Absolutely, that's perfect.
So, Mr. Callahan, who are those?
Okay. So, Mr. Callahan, tell us about the awardees that are going to be honored and recognized at this year's gala event.
We are so honored to recognize some community leaders this year at our celebration of Giving Gala. Those individuals consist of Brother Larry Roberts, who owns Roberts Barber College.
Okay.
Ms. Tatiana Harris, who owns a behavior service business.
I just had her for this interview 2 months ago.
Is that right?
Yes, her work is so powerful.
She's great.
Yes, she is.
Mr. Larry Huggins, who's
Okay.
known throughout Chicago as relates to Christmas in the Wards.
Yes.
And he also owns Right Way Construction Company. Yes. And then none other than Karen Freeman Wilson, who is the head of the Chicago Urban League.
Yes.
These are some great community leaders that we will be honoring on the night of December 6th.
Yes, you've got a really good lineup there. So between them and Avery Sunshine, the scholarship awardees are going to have an amazing time. That is so powerful. And I just really would like to, as an outsider to this industry, just say how amazing it is that you all choose with your life to do this work. Because I know that this work is not 9 to 5. And what you pour and what you give is beyond what most people ever do.
Whatever you do, people can tell whether you like what you do simply by the passion that you have for it.
Yeah.
Some individuals do things and they don't have a passion for it, and you can tell it the way they perform their services. We have had a great passion for this industry that we work in and a great passion for this foundation that we are over. And it wouldn't happen without the amazing individuals that sitting next to me.
Yeah.
They put a lot into it, in feeding the community about it and announcing it to those that they have influence with.
Yes, that's so wonderful. And Valerie, congratulations on this amazing empire that you get to build and grow and take to new heights. And what would you say is next for the Callahan Funeral Home under your guidance?
Well, first, please keep me in your thoughts and your prayers. My parents have done an amazing job leading the firm. And so one thing that is coming up, since we are talking about us pouring into the community, we are bringing the holidays to Inglewood.
Okay.
A lot of children and families in general, they never get to see the bright side of the holidays. And so we are going to have a beautiful setup here in our Legacy Center, where children will be able to write letters to Santa. They will be able to receive hot chocolate and some other great goodies. And so,
what's the date on that?
Yeah, the date is December 23rd from 2 until 4 p.m. So please, please, please bring your children, your family members out, and because we want to bring some
joy
light and joy to the community. But beyond that, my main goal is for us to continue to serve our families well with a high level of professionalism, to continue to pour into the Inglewood community. There is good here in Inglewood. I just had a meeting yesterday with other community leaders here in Inglewood, and so we are coming up with a great plan on how we can bring some positive insight and just positivity to Inglewood.
Yes.
So you'll hear more about that soon.
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much. I feel like the next thing that we should do is talk to one of these families that you have helped serve and pour into. So let's switch things up a bit, and we'll be back with another guest.
Can I have just one
Oh,
brag?
sure, yes.
A mother brag moment?
Go, girl.
So Valerie, our daughter, was one of the people chosen for the Chicago Urban League Leadership Impact cohort. We are so excited for the teaching, for the learning, for the development that her mentor and others will pour into her. And we're just super proud of Valerie and all that she's doing. So I just wanted to have a happy, proud mother moment.
As you should. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with another guest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back. Of course, we still have the Callahans, and we are joined by Mrs. Barbara Deere, who is the wife of the late Dr. Dennis Deere. And so I just want to thank you first so much for your presence and energy in this moment, because you are experiencing exactly what we've been talking about. I know it's been 17 months since your wonderful husband left us in physical form, because we all get our signs. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But what is it like for you to refocus the holidays for your family and center around legacy, love, and new memories? What is that like for you?
For me, legacy, love, and new memories are never forgetting who my husband was. The late Dr. Deere, the previous commissioner. He was an amazing man, and during the holidays, even at the table, myself and my children and my family, we remember him. we have one of his favorite desserts,
Okay.
which is banana pudding, which he loves.
Yes.
Yes. And this will be my second Thanksgiving without my husband. He passed June 23rd of 24. So this is, even though it's been 17 months, that first year, it was really hard. We really learn. You just never forget and allow yourself to feel, and that's what myself and my children did.
Yeah. In this moment of joy and celebration of holidays, how do you publicly keep his legacy alive?
So publicly, I continue to post about my husband and the holidays, his love. And publicly, his name is actually all over the place. I feel like he helped so many people and was engaged in so many initiatives that his name just lives on automatically. His name is on a building. A building was named after him to support youth that are justice involved, and it's called the Dr. Dennis Deere Community Justice Center.
Okay.
And it's on Keeler and 14th Street.
Oh, I know exactly where that is.
Yes. So services are provided there for youth. So I feel like every time I drive past, other people drive past, like his name will always be remembered. He was a proud member of Omega Psi Phi, and all of the contributions that he did, I feel like they're just always in the limelight. And that's another reason I'm wearing
Here's your
purple.
I saw it. I love that.
Yes, this was his favorite color. And I feel like sharing stories is a way of keeping his legacy and name alive. Dennis and I met in high school. I was 15 and he was 17. And the colors at the school were purple and gold.
Oh, well, that's just appropriate.
So, yeah, but yeah, I just feel like sharing those stories. We have so many memories from high school. We went to college together. We, marriage. We have three beautiful children. We have twin sons that are 23, and our daughter is 20.
Okay.
And his legacy is alive through them.
For sure.
As well as through, I have a grandbaby.
Oh,
she just turned 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's next generation legacy.
Yes, next generation legacy. So his legacy is still strong.
That's excellent. So as we talk about the grief in general, it is a layered journey, right? Mrs. Callahan, you spoke to the process and how it is a process. What would you all say to someone that is experiencing their very first holiday without their loved one at the table? We talked about some ways to honor them, but what advice would you give to encourage them during this time? Mrs. Callahan, let's start with you.
And I'm sure Mrs. Deere can identify, and I first just want to thank her. I would say that she handled her first year extremely well. She kept memories alive. She had his favorite dessert, banana pudding, and she just talked about him. And so those are key elements right there. Your very first holiday, take a moment and just not shun the moment, but embrace it, lean into it. I think I also heard you, Monique, say as well that you've had loss and you've decided to lean into it. I think that's important. Share stories. What made you really laugh about him or her? What didn't you like? Some things, that really made me mad when this happened or that happened. And just crack up and cry. It's okay to cry. And we cry because we love.
Yes.
And so, and then share something, whether it's share something that you made in memory of this person, share a dish, and perhaps a whole meal, and just keep the conversation going. So I would say to those who have lost a loved one, and this is your first holiday, don't feel that you are alone. It's important to be around other people and to embrace the moment.
That's good. Mr. Callahan, You've been in this business a long time. What's your encouraging advice?
Just remain yourself and continue to pour back into the area that meant so much to Dr. Deere. One was young people, especially his children. Dr. Deere was one of the greatest individuals that I've ever known. Had a very amazing personality. He was always, and he was a jokester. He was a very funny person, and he was very, very friendly to the Callahans. Not only did he support us, he supported our foundation. He became a board member of the Callahan Foundation, and he's used this facility here to even do meetings for the area that he was in charge of, and people came from all over to the meeting, and he would speak well of others. I've never heard Dr. Deere speak negatively about other people. He was just an amazing person, and keep those memories in mind.
Yes.
Embrace those memories,
Yes.
and try to lean into those individuals that believe in Dr. Deere and that were friendly toward him, and try to do those things that he believed in. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And Mrs. Deere, having done this once, I know, and we talked about this, every day feels like it just happened yesterday, and sometimes it feels like it just happened 5 minutes ago. What would you tell people trying to, manage themselves to get to the table? Because sometimes people maybe feel like they can't even go to the family or get to the table. What advice and encouragement would you offer them?
Yeah, the first thing I would do, and I know people have different beliefs, but for me and what I would encourage people to do is to lean on God and pray. And, God dwells in the midst of praise, so thank him for strength. And I believe it's okay, like Ms. Callahan said, to lean into being vulnerable too.
Yes.
Because sometimes I think we try so hard to be strong that, you feel like I don't want to cry, or I don't want people to see me crying. And I tried that initially, and I realized it didn't work.
No, that's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. The tears will come, and I learned to embrace those tears and just let them flow. And then I'm like, well, I don't really care what people think. Like, this is my moment, because this is healing, and this is what I'm feeling right now.
Yes.
And then I would be okay. And each moment looks different. But again, leaning into your feelings, journaling, I found that really helpful. Even before the holiday, like talking in the book, I would write to Dennis and tell him about like what we're cooking. If the kids did something silly or funny, like you won't believe
this. Yeah.
So that was helpful to me. I did grief share right before the first holiday, like the Calahans offer here. And I did it at a church Dennis and I would visit frequently that was close to home. And it was such a blessing for me, those 13 weeks, which taught me about leaning into my feelings as well and talking about them.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
And don't isolate.
Don't isolate.
Yeah, as
that
much
is
as
so
you feel.
important.
Yes.
Yes. And it is not easy to just show up to the thing with all the emotions that we pack in the process of getting ready for these holidays. We're 7 days out and it still feels like, But I'm going to take all of you all's advice because this is our first year. And I think the one thing that as a life coach, I've guided many people through this journey, and being a person who's lost many family members myself, you never not think about that person. And so don't fight it on the holidays, right?
Exactly.
And so sometimes we think like, oh, it's the holidays, I got to push it back. But don't push it back on any day. Don't push it back at any point, because grief just comes, and wherever it shows up and however it shows up, it's natural, and it's a part of life that, like you said, Mr. Callahan, we all have to go that way. And so I just want to thank you, Mrs. Deere, because your love story is one that is celebrated. The legacy that you all created together, your beautiful family, your children, and the work that you continue to do. I don't want to miss talking about that, though. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, I do a lot of things.
Don't we all?
I know. I feel like, so I'm a licensed speech language pathologist in the state of Illinois.
Okay.
So I have a master's degree in speech pathology, but I do a lot of other things, and that's what I've been doing. I'm also the executive director of Juneteenth, Illinois. So an organization that my late husband, Dr. Dennis Deere, founded that provides scholarship to youth on the west and south sides of Chicago that are going off to college. And we continue to mentor them year round. And we're actually on our 4th cohort now, and they'll be graduating this year. So,
Congratulations.
thank you. So happy about them, and you know, just being involved in their lives. And then I also do health consulting around my passions, which is healthy eating, healthy movement, and healthy natural hair. So I consult with businesses that are working within that space.
Okay, that's excellent. And I bring that up because what you do is a part of his legacy, but your legacy is also part of that. And what you continue to do and what you pour into and how you continue his passions combined with yours is also a part of the story. And let me not miss out on saying that your husband was also a Man of Excellence from Chicago Defender.
Yes, he was.
And this is the Chicago Defender's 120th year.
Oh, wow.
And this is their Journey to Empowerment year. And what I like to remember, this is the Voices of Influence series, of which you all are, Voices of Influence. But I really take a moment to think that we're talking about 120 years back that way. We are, you are, this is history in the making.
Yes.
And in 50 years, somebody's going to be looking at us calling this history. But that is what is so powerful about the Chicago Defender, that they continue to tell our story and continue to tell our story by us in neighborhoods that don't normally get much conversation. Yes. And this is just so impactful and so powerful. And I hope that those of you that get a chance to see this interview will take and glean some of the strength and power that Mrs. Deere has in this moment and know that it doesn't always look like this. And it's okay. Yes. And there are people like the Calahans, whether you did a service here or not, I got a sneaky feeling they'd help you no matter where you came from. And this is what Chicago really is. Whatever they say, Chicago is a great place to be, and I'm happy to have been here with you all today.
I would like to make a statement. I want to personally, on behalf of the Callahans and my wife, thank Ms. Deere for placing trust in us. And the loss of your husband, and allowed us to walk with you through that process.
Yes.
Again, I certainly ditto Mr. Callahan's comments as well. I would also like to mention that we have fully embraced the dear daughter. She is one of our scholars.
Okay.
So she is getting our embrace for 4 years before she will flap her wings and take off. I believe she's a sophomore.
She is.
She's a sophomore this year. So we are excited about that, and anything that we can certainly add to help or assist in any way, we're here. We're here. Absolutely.
Can I add one more thing?
Yes, please.
And I just want to say thank you to the Callahans. You all were absolutely amazing. You know, death is hard when you lose a loved one, but you all walked me through the process from intake to burial. And it was, again, my husband's favorite color was purple. And my big thing was I wanted him to be laid to rest like royalty, like the man he was. And they helped me pick out a beautiful purple casket.
Oh, wow.
And when I tell you that ceremony was royalty, it was royalty.
Oh, I love that.
And yes, here and at the church. Even the music I picked out, I didn't want it to be sad. It needed to be all of Dennis's favorites, Lauryn Hill, and all of that. And that's all that was piped through.
Oh, that's perfect.
At the service here. So, and you know, the church, but thank you. Thank you so much. You take care of your families.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's what community is all about. And so one business isn't just a business. This is a business in a community that allows for their passion and their love to spread around the world. Thank you, Callahans, and thank you so much, Mrs. Deere.